Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a update for Vanguard Zero. So Vanguard Zero currently is having the Grand Blue event. So you have the two triple R's, Ruin Shade and Captain Nightmist. So I'm very unlucky with Grand Blue for some reason. I guess it's the game telling me that I'm not supposed to be playing them for whatever reason, because this is what, day 3 of the event, and so far I have no Captain Nightmist. I got 0 pulls. And I pulled today, as of today, I pulled my first Ruin Shade in Vanguard Zero. So I have one of these, 2 Chappie, and then 4 Gustian, and then 1 Bass Kirk, and that's it. And then basically like 4 of all the other, the commons and rares. So Spirit Exceed, I have to run that build, even though I don't want to run him, or not as the main gimmick of the deck, because I feel like Bass Kirk is probably still better, because Guiding Zombie is a better starter than Night Spirit. Overall, the Superior Ride thing is very hit or miss in this deck. It's dependent on opening up with Chappie the Ghosty, so you really kind of need to run 3 to 4 Chappie to be able to Superior Ride Spirit Exceed consistently, and that still means you have to have Samurai Spirit either in the opening hand on turn 1 or turn 2. Otherwise, the deck will kind of not really be able to pull that off, and then it just defeats the purpose of running Night Spirit. So anyway, I still need Captain Nightmist, so hopefully I can pull at least 2 of him by the end of the event, but so far my luck has been really, really bad with Grand Blue. So that's my update on Grand Blue. I plan to, at the end, craft another Ruin Shade if I don't pull at least a second one. Regardless, I would prefer to craft Ruin Shade. I'd recommend you guys, if you're going to craft a card at the end of the event, as long as you're doing very hard, craft Ruin Shade over Nightmist, because I think Ruin Shade will be more useful in the long run for this clan in the game. But that's Grand Blue. Not much more to say there, other than that I've had horrible luck pulling these cards. I have never seen the purple triple R spinning thing when I opened the gacha for this. So like today, I got a yellow spinning one, which means I'm supposed to get a double R. And then like I opened like 5 packs. The 4th pack, it did the animation where the lightning strikes a card, and that's how I got Ruin Shade. But then like I didn't get a single double R from that whole 5-pack opening. So really, really bad luck for Grand Blue. Anyway, moving on to set 2. So after the Grand Blue event ends, we're going to get set 2. Set 2 will introduce another new clan. That's going to be Bermuda Triangle. So Bermuda Triangle, there's really going to be like 3 main variants of the deck. One being Top Isle Pacifica. It's the Mega Blast build. The card itself plays kind of like CEO. But instead of like looking at the top card of the deck, you just draw the top card of the deck, and then you have to send something from your hand on the bottom to the bottom of the deck. So it's similar in a way. I mean, if you have 4 or more rear guards, it's 13k during your turn, so it can hit over cross ride, which won't be relevant right now, but it still allows you to do good numbers if you have an 8k behind this, for example. But other than that, I think the deck isn't really going to do a whole lot in the meta. And then Top Isle Riviere is the ride chain. This card, because of the way Vanguard Zero differentiates itself, where you can attack, I mean, a lot of things end up hitting the Vanguard when they attack it. I think her on-hit skill will be a lot better in Zero than in the actual game when she was first released. So she might be a little bit better than Top Isle Pacifica. But I think the best deck by far for Bermuda Triangle is going to be Velvet Voice Reindeer. And what's amazing is these 2 cards were triple R's in the physical form, so I wanted to show that in this video. And Velvet Voice Reindeer was a common. She was a common, but she was always better than these 2 in terms of consistency. But that remains to be seen in Zero, though, because bouncing stuff up isn't really all that good. But she allows you to call something down, though, to get extra attack in. So she extends your attack combos. But again, I think that the card she calls down, at best, all it can do is attack like a grade 3 rear guard, because the Vanguard most likely will probably already have enough defensive power from checking triggers or just being attacked, that the card she calls down won't really be able to do much. So she'll probably end up calling down like a grade 2 Interceptor and make it swing to like a 3k, or like a grade 3 10k. In rest, or like for some reason if there's a grade 1 up there, it'll swing into a grade 1. So there's going to be a lot of weird issues with this clan initially, at least I think so. I haven't really researched too much into their playstyle in Zero, but just from what I know, I don't think this clan's going to do that well. But it is what it is. So that's Bermuda Triangle. Moving on now, we go back to the 4 original clans that all got new support in set 2 that they'll be getting for Royals. Garmor, he's probably going to be the more commonly used build. The other one being Galahad. Galahad is the more budget-oriented build. But you have your Blaster Blades, so they're pretty much good in both decks. Try to pull Akane. Akane works really, really well in Garmor if you don't already have it. But that's basically all I have on Royals. I mean, the budget stuff will still see play, but they won't really do much at like the higher level play in terms of like higher ranks in Legend. So Garmor, definitely I expect to see this played by people playing Royals. I won't be playing it though. I will try to play Bermuda because I'm more interested in testing out the new clans. Like I really want to play Ground Blue, but I have a really lousy deck right now. But hopefully in a couple days my luck will turn around. Next for Kagero, we have Amber Dragon. Amber Dragon got nerfed in Vanguard Zero. He used to retire 2 rear guards, but now he only retires 1. He'll see play initially, though. I definitely expect to see a lot of people running Amber Dragon. He's a ride chain, just like Riviere and Tsukuyomi, so he's going to be used by quite a few people. He's also a double R, if I remember correctly. He's not a triple R. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is a triple R. But he was a triple R in the original release. This is a triple R. But anyway, Amber Dragon's going to see some play, but not in the long run. So if you don't pull him and you miss out on him, as long as you have like a current Kagero deck, like the Steel Dragon Blockade, you'll be okay. And just get some Overlords if you don't already have them. Dragonic Waterfall will also be in the release. This was originally, I think it was always just a promo. I don't know if it was an actual card in BTO2 or BTO3. But Waterfall will probably get more mileage and be seen longer into the game compared to Amber Dragon, because I don't think a lot of people will want to run the ride chain once the ride chains are not really the new thing anymore. So Water Dragon, he's a triple R in Zero, and he's a pretty good beater. Overlord will still see play, of course. There is a, you can exchange points to get the alternate art one, which is actually the BTO1 artwork. So Overlord, try to get a playset of Overlord during the set release to have them completed at least. It's old. It's an older card because it's set 1, but you're gonna want it for later because eventually Kagero will get Dragonic Overlord the end, and the end will be relevant for a very long time in Vanguard Zero. I feel that this card will be good for a really long time, actually, maybe even into the Break Ride format. So Overlord is the other build. So, but these are the 2 new ones. And in terms of mixing them up, you can mix them with Inferno, Goku, all that stuff, and it'll all work out. If you have Steel Dragon Blockade, he will still see play after set 2 releases. This card, this won't really die off until the end comes out. And even then, it'll probably still be good just because of how this effect interacts with the mechanics of Vanguard Zero as opposed to the original game. So I feel like Blockade's going to be good for a long while as well. You'll get a lot of mileage out of this card. And eventually he will get a cross ride, just like Overlord does. The only difference is this Blockade Inferno won't come out until the Limit Break era, and it'll be much further into the Limit Break format unless they change that, because I think actually Blockade Inferno came out during Break Ride, because this released in BT11, which was when Seal Dragon, or no, when Dauntless Drive Dragon was new. So that's a pretty long time off. But I'm just saying the Seal Dragon Blockade will be good for a long time. So, and that just further proves it. So those are the 4 Kagero decks that I expect to see in play from set 2. And then let's talk OTT. So OTT Tsukuyomi, a lot of people probably already know if they've been paying attention to the Japanese version of the game. This deck is another one, just like Blockade Inferno or Blockade. It'll be good for a really long time. It'll be good for a very, very long time. So if you're an OTT player, I'm an OTT player, but I don't really. I'm gonna try out the other decks this time around. If I can Polar, I'll definitely build the deck, but I'm not gonna stress out too much if I don't build it. But there's other options as well. There's Scarlet Witch Coco. I believe this card is going to be out in that set as well. So this is the Soulless build, whereas this is the Ride Chain build. And then CEO, of course, will still be around for those who are, as they slowly transition their deck into Tsukuyomi. I think that CEO will still see play. But I don't think people will, if they're going for Coco, they're not going to mix CEO with Coco, because CEO fills up the soul, and this is not supposed to have any soul. So I think they contradict each other. So these two won't work together, unfortunately. If you don't have CEO, there will be a way to get the alternate art version later on. So that's a thing also. But that's set one, kind of like how I showed you guys Blockade and Overlord. She will eventually get a cross ride just like Blockade and Overlord, but hers will come out during the Limit Break era. So Goddess of the Sun. So if you have Amaterasu, just hold on to it. It'll get a boost later on in the game. But those are the two premier ones. And then make sure you have your Silent Toms, at least 2, to make the deck actually have a decent win condition. Ideally 3 or 4. But like I'm showing here, there'll be another way to get a different artwork of him. And then the last deck for OTT will be Imperial Daughter. Imperial Daughter is really, really annoying to play against. It's the control-based deck, but it's the more unique, more budget-oriented build, because I think this is just a double R, whereas I think these two are the triple Rs. Not sure about Coco, but I know for a fact Tsukuyomi is definitely a triple R. And then if you're playing budget OTT, you know, Sakuya and Pollen are still a thing, but I don't think we'll see too much of them going forward. I think people are going to start playing one of the other two, or just keep using CEO. And then Battle Sisters are an interesting sub-archetype within OTT. They won't be out until Limit Break era, but they will eventually get their own deck. So if you have Mocha, well, Mocha will see play. It's an easy card to get, but Coco is a triple R from set 1. So she'll still see play. She's pretty good in her own deck. Really good in the CEO deck. And she's probably still going to be relevant in the Imperial Daughter and the Coco deck as well, just to help you increase the chances of getting a trigger on your drive check. So those are going to be the OTT decks. Moving on, let's discuss Risers, or let's discuss Nova. So for Nova Grappler, it's really going to be Risers, which I expect to be the top deck. Mainly because Amber Dragon got nerfed, so he can't really affect their board that badly. Still going to be really, really tough matchup for Nova Grapplers. But Nova Grapplers, I think this is their time to shine. Perfect Riser is going to be really, really good. Assert Kaiser will still see play, of course. He's a very good card. And then Budget Boys, Rutile, and Heat Lion. A lot of the people I know are climbing to Legend on this deck with their random 1 or 2 Assert Kaisers, and it works. So they'll still be around. They're not going anywhere, but I think that these two are going to be the more premier Vanguards. Assert Kaiser in particular, just like CEO, will be getting a cross ride in Limit Break format. So you do want to try to hold on to these. They're good. I say hold on to. It's not like you can get rid of them, but like if you have the SP, I wouldn't recommend deconstructing it unless you already have like a playset. That's what I mean. So yeah, they're gonna get a Mortal Assert Kaiser at some point in the game. So Assert Kaiser will become relevant again. But it's still a really good deck. And then the only other one, I mean, there's another one in Novas, but I only have Cosmolord here, and he's from set 1. But this is for the Death Army guy and Death Army lady. But ultimately, it's going to be Risers. Risers and Blau. Blau, I don't know where my Blau is, but Blau is going to be the more cheap one, and then Risers is going to be this is the triple R. So Blau is going to be really, really fun. Risers is going to be really fun. Like I said earlier, I think Novas are going to be the best after set 2 comes out. And then I think OTT will also be really, really good. Tsukuyomi is really, really good. But that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think in terms of the set 2. Where do you think the game's going to go? Do you really think that Risers will be the best? Or do you think that Amber will be better? Or do you think Blockade will still continue to dominate? I think this deck will still be really, really strong until the end comes out in terms of what you see from Kagero. So anyway, guys, that was the deck, or not deck, that was the update video on Vanguard Zero. And let me know if you guys like these formats of videos where I actually show what, like the old physical cards. If I have them, I'd like to show them, just to show the history of the game and how it's interesting because they're they're reusing all the old artwork, the old stats like 11K, 10K, and the 5K power gains on trigger effects in Zero, whereas in the new game, like in Vanguard V, or the V series, it's a completely different game. So let me know what you guys think of the video and the predictions in terms of the meta, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.